Jason is home alone past midnight when his phone rings. The caller ID shows his own name. Confused, he answers. A voice identical to his warns him not to leave the apartment tonight. As he listens, a shadow moves beneath his door. The voice reveals it's him, calling from 5 minutes in the future. If Jason opens the door, he won't survive. Jason drops the phone in terror as the shadow halts, leaving him in chilling silence. Jason hadn't slept in 3 nights. Ever since that chilling call, from himself, warning him not to open the door, his apartment felt less like home and more like a trap. Shadows seemed to linger longer than they should. His reflection in the mirror sometimes moved a fraction too late. And every time his phone buzzed, his heart stopped. On the 3rd night, the phone rang again. The same caller ID. Jason, me. His blood ran cold. Last time, the voice saved him. This time, he wasn't so sure. With shaking hands, he answered. "You didn't listen," the voice hissed. "Now they know." The lights in his apartment flickered violently. Jason looked toward his door. The shadow beneath it stretched wider, pulsing, as if something was pressing against it, something too large to belong to a person. Jason clutched the phone tighter. Who are they? What's happening to me? But instead of answers, he only heard his own voice screaming through the line. Ragged, terrified screams, echoing as if they were coming from a place deeper than the phone itself. Then, silence. The call ended. Jason lowered the phone, trembling. And now, Jason understood. Whatever was coming for him wasn't outside his apartment. It was already inside. The pounding on the door stopped. Jason stood frozen, staring at his reflection in the window. The silence was worse than the noise. Caller ID. Jason, me. He almost didn't answer, but his thumb slid across the screen anyway. This time, there was no whisper, no warning, just the sound of breathing, heavy, ragged, like something standing right behind him. Jason turned slowly. His apartment looked the same, empty, still, but the phone was still pressed to his ear. And then he heard it, his own voice, calm, steady, but wrong somehow. "Stop running. Open the door." Jason's body trembled. He glanced at the door. The shadow beneath it was gone. But when he looked back at the window, his reflection wasn't there anymore. The phone slipped from his hand as a final message flashed across the screen. "This is the last call." Jason stood in the dark, staring at his phone on the floor. The screen still glowed. "This is the last call." His chest tightened. He forced himself toward the door, every step heavy, his mind repeating the voice's words. "Open it. It's the only way to end this." His hand hovered over the lock. For a moment, he almost pulled back. Then, with a shaking breath, he turned the knob. The door swung open. Instead of the hallway, Jason saw himself, 5 days older, bruised, bleeding, eyes wide with terror. His future self reached out, grabbing his arm. "Don't you get it?" The older Jason rasped. "Every time we answer, every time we open the door, we take their place. The call isn't a warning, it's a trap." Behind the future Jason, darkness writhed like a living thing. Pale hands reached out of it, dozens of them, clawing, pulling him backward. His older self screamed, "Don't let them drag you in." Jason tried to pull away, but the hands latched onto him too, cold, relentless. The phone in his pocket buzzed one last time. He fumbled it out. The screen didn't say Jason, me anymore. It said, "Jason, you." His own terrified scream echoed into the receiver. And then the door slammed shut. Somewhere in another apartment, another Jason's phone began to ring.